of True Capitalist Radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments, predicting the future, the future, the future. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True Capitalist Radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
Well, what's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 756. Episode number 756 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody you know, let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is live and in effect. And once again, this is a sporadic show. I'm barely starting to get back into the groove of doing True Capitalist Radio again. And I think it's only out of necessity considering the current state of our country. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get started right into the broadcast with a little bit of finance. Put the PC shot on. We are still in this tarred market, all right? I mean, that's literally what it is. There is absolutely no reason for anybody to be buying into this market. As I've mentioned on the previous shows, what we're witnessing are people that got easy money during the whole COVID shutdown, lockdowns, and they saved their money, and while they were bored, they decided, hey, let me research the stock market. And where did they go? They went to Reddit, they went to all these board posts, and basically colluded with other idiots in order to run up prices on stocks like AMC, like GameStop, and others, okay? And people have gotten so much easy money from this episode that they're addicted to it. And right now, I think that the markets are running on the belief of that first instance that many of the folks that are retail investors got when they got that first batch of easy money. And let me tell you, there is absolutely no reason to be buying into this market. There are nothing but bad indicators when it comes to the economic standing of the country. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the markets. I don't know why people are buying. There is no reason for it. But the Dow is up 0.44%, closing out the Dow at 44,448.27 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We've got the S&P up 1.55%. Okay, once again, S&P 500 closes out today at 6,705.12 points. And then the most bloated of indices, the NASDAQ, it is up 2.69% on the day, closing out the NASDAQ at 22,872.01 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some commodities here. And as you can see, we have seen a considerable drop in oil prices. And the reason is because a lot of different factors. Okay, first of all, the United States is producing its own oil. The United States is also entertaining an entry into a confrontation with Venezuela, which would dramatically decrease the prices as well. So that's why you're seeing this. Now, whether or not it's reflected in the gas prices is a whole other story. Because even though we're producing a bunch of oil, doesn't mean that we have the capability to refine it into gasoline, and hence why the price of oil isn't truly reflected on the price of gasoline. But as you can see today, Brent crude, or sorry, I should say WTI sweet crude was up 1.51%. Current price for barrel of WTI sweet crude is $58.93 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. Brent crude, which is the crude oil consumed by the rest of the world, it is up 1.28%, closing out, or I should say the current price of Brent crude is $63.36, all right, per, per barrel. Is my mic okay? Are y'all, dude, all right, look, I'm not, anybody who says my mic is scuffed, get him out of here. All right, kick him out. Everybody listens. Everybody's hearing just fine. Kick him the fuck out. This ain't the Ghost Show, all right? What the hell are you people talking about? If I pull up the stream and I don't hear shit, I'm really going to get pissed. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and see this. All right. Sorry. My bad. Wrong one. Here, let me go to the... Excuse me, folks. Unfortunately, they're saying my mic is scuffed. All right? Let me see what the hell this is. I know, dude, kick everybody out who says my mic is scuffed. It is absolutely not. Let me see what the hell this is. I know, dude, kick everybody out who says my mic is scuffed. It is absolutely not. Look at this. Let me see what look at this shit. Look at it. The mic is not. This is. I know, everybody, dude, kick everybody out who said, thank you. Kick everybody out who said that my mic is scuffed. Get them the fuck out of here. Kick them out. Thank you, Cornbread Man. I also want to say cheers to Valentine Broadcasting for hooking it up with 5 subs over there at Rumble. All right, cheers to you. And I'm telling you, kick everybody out who said that. Kick them all out of here. I don't want them listening to my broadcast. All right, kick them all the hell out of here. And Jeffrey Ghosteen about servicing schmeckles. Yeah, this is not the Ghost Show, pal. All right? Anyway, let me go ahead and move on. All right, let's go ahead and get to metals, shall we? The metals. Let's get to the goddamn metals. Now, I tried to tell many of you to go, and there's Weibo Ghost with a Rumble rant. Cheers to Weibo. That you should be investing all you can over the past several years into silver. And if you have been doing that, you would be generously paid off. And I think that silver could continue to go up. I wouldn't be surprised if we hit $100 on silver, considering the amount of inflation that we are hitting. And at the same time, you've got the Fed cutting rates into inflation. So I don't see silver coming down anytime soon at all, unless somehow the United States becomes fiscally responsible overnight, which I don't see happening. All right, so it's definitely a safety. And the reason I always suggest people go into silver is because you get a higher return on investment. A higher return on investment as opposed to gold. Look at how much gold is. All right, it is up $67.49 right now. Current price for gold is $4,129.18 per troy ounce of gold. I mean, maybe gold goes up to a 6,000, but look at how much money you got to put down in order to get that return. I mean, silver, I was telling people to go into silver when silver was like $13. All right? And cheers to Chons, who hooked it up with 5 gifted subs over there at Rumble. All right, cheers to you, Chons, all right? I hope you're doing well. Cheers to everybody hooking up with gifted subs over there at Rumble. And by the way, we are broadcasting through a variety of different platforms. All right, we're broadcasting on Rumble, Kick. We're broadcasting on YouTube. We're broadcasting on X. We're broadcasting on DLive. We're broadcasting on Trovo, Odyssey. We're broadcasting everywhere. So wherever you're listening to us, thank you very much and cheers to you. But let's go ahead and go down to the commodities here, okay? Commodities, all of them are dropping in price now. All commodities are dropping in price. Now, why is that? You look at all that red. Because, folks, as I stated in 2024, when many of you idiots were calling me a fucking Democrat, I was telling you that these ridiculous cockamamie economic ideas that Donald Trump was promoting in 2024 were going to absolutely rise the cost of everything. And nobody believed me. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump ran on the idea that he was going to bring down prices that, quote, Joe Biden ran up, right? Bullshit. Bullshit, okay? And by the way, I told you that we were going to go into a depression, all right? And people are finally starting to recognize, take a look at this, all the signs that America may be teetering on the brink of recession. Underneath the AI sheen, U.S. unemployment is rising and households are burdened with debt. Burdened with debt. And why? I have no idea. I mean, after COVID, it seemed that all the savings that everybody saved during COVID, everybody just went on a damn shopping spree and then over-leveraged themselves in order to get a bunch of materialistic bullshit widgets that they don't really fucking need. They don't really need. All right? And it's a disgrace that we went from the lockdowns, which everybody had the highest savings rate ever in American history, to now, a few years later, everybody's flat broke. All right? Everybody's flat broke. And as a matter of fact, every day that keeps going, we get more and more layoffs out here. All right? Cheers to Sam Robsy over there in the Rumble chat with the Rumble rant. Put the PC shot on. Let's take a look at the most recent layoffs since the last time I talked to you guys. All right, there's layoff tracker. We got Easy Cater laying off 40 people, 5% of its workforce. The Score has laid off a large number of its staff. Google is now offers to voluntarily buyouts to UK employees for them to get laid off. Verizon has laid off 13,000 people. Everfox, 50 people. All right, I mean, it goes on and on. Pleo, 100 people. UKG, 300 people. Couchbase, 50 people. And guess what? These are all jobs that paid fairly well. A lot of these are tech jobs, and they paid fairly well. And these people are out in the street. I mean, look at all this. These are all layoffs. And you mean to tell me that this is a market to buy in? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, here's an article right here. 7 parts of the U.S. economy that are already in recession. Now, what are they talking about? Well, let's go down here. Housing, construction, and inventory is taking a contraction because of the elevated stock of unsold homes. Home builders are no longer going to build as many homes. They're going to throttle back developments. And as a result, workers are going to be out of luck. And if you want any work done on your house, I think this would be the time to do it. You're going to have a lot of craftsmen, a lot of carpenters, a lot of people, tile layers that are going to be out of work. And Cornbread, man, I said to stock up on the things that you need and whatnot. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Also, restaurants, all right? Major restaurant establishments are now closing down. They're tightening the belt. They're laying off folks. If you take a look at some of the earnings of some of the major players in the stock market in this sector, Chipotle and Sweetgreen post weaker sales growth in recent quarters, and it's largely due to the weakness in consumers, including 25 to 34-year-olds. And speaking of 35 to 40-year-olds, I just have to throw this in here. All you folks that called me an idiot back in the old days when I started this broadcast in 08, 09, many of you, I don't know, thought I was a moron when I suggested that people should not go to college. That college was an absolute waste of time, and that all it is now is a money-making scheme, and they have completely diluted the whole concept of higher education by indoctrinating young people into believing that if they don't go to college, that they were going to be burger flippers or some shit. Well, take a look at this stat that came out. Since we're talking about 25-plus-year-olds, take a look at this. Unemployed Americans with 4-year college degrees now make up a record 25.3% of the total unemployment in this country today. All right? 25.3% of the people unemployed have a bachelor's degree and are unemployed.
I'd buy that for $1.
So give me a fucking break. And Haywood hooking it up with a buy me a coffee. And he said that money was nice. A lot of us went out to buy guns and ammo because of the looting and robbing. I'm not going to say the rest of that. But once again, folks, and Trump, instead of like helping out, possibly giving some relief to some of these fucking kids, and look, I've been critical of these kids that went to college and now they want a freebie ride by bailing out the people that are having all this outstanding college debt. But I mean, even though I criticized it in the past and told these kids to suck it up, buttercup, and pay, I mean, with all the money that Trump is giving out, all right, all the money. I mean, we just went through a shutdown because Trump wanted to spend more money. Okay, all the trillions and trillions of dollars. You mean to tell me that we couldn't at least give these fuckers a break out here? All right, there's 25% of the fucking so-called higher educated intelligentsia that can't even find work. It's a disgrace. It's an utter disgrace, all right? So obviously, restaurant sector is proving that we're in recession. All right, monthly change in government employment. Now, this has a lot to do with the Doge cuts. You know, I mean, I don't know where Doge cut. I mean, because we're spending more money than we've ever spent in the history of this country. And I mean, where was Doge to cut? As a matter of fact, let's talk about Doge. I hate to be a little schizophrenic in this broadcast here, but there's a lot to talk about today. But speaking of Doge, take a look at this. All right, the supposed cutting that was supposed to cut the deficit by I don't know how many trillions of dollars or whatever the fuck Elon Musk and Trump claimed. Take a look at this. Doge doesn't exist with 8 months left on its charter. And why doesn't it exist anymore? Because it was never about cutting. It was about Elon Musk convincing Donald Trump, through obviously excessive donations, to have him at the head of this task in order to aggregate America's data absolutely free. And I've said this time and time again, the power right now is in data. Why do you think they keep bringing up and building these fucking data centers, for heaven's sake? So, I mean, everybody who supported this shit, all you magatards, I mean, you have to realize that Trump has literally gone back on everything he advocated. What you people are still holding on to, I have no idea. I have no idea. As a matter of fact, I hate to jump around here, but speaking of Elon Musk, did you hear that his new X policy, which, shows people publicly the country of origin of a given X account, has now exposed that most of the heavy MAGA influencers that influence the drones of Americans are actually foreigners. All right, they're from India, they're from Nigeria, they're from Eastern Europe. All right, most of the folks that are big MAGA influencers are frauds. They're folks in countries that are trying to get whatever rake they can get off the MAGA grift, because they see people like Cat Turd and Jack Persobic and all the MAGA chattering class making all this money doing nothing but pandering to a bunch of stupid loser boomers and fucking basement kids. They wanted a little bit of that action, and there's what they got. It's all a fraud. It's all a fraud. And by the way, I see people talking about this in the Rumble chat. Did you hear that by, I guess, accident, I don't know, but they actually indirectly showed that the Department of Homeland Security, in this, exposing the country of origin to account, actually leaked that the Department of Homeland Security is based out of Israel. All right? Look at this. I mean, Israel, look, of course, the Department of Homeland Security is trying to deny it, but people screenshotted it, they videoed it. I mean, it is absolutely true and factual, all right, that this was exposed. The Department of Homeland Security was exposed, at least the account of Twitter being ran out of Israel. All right, so that is a huge shocker. But then again, if you take a look at one of the heavy influential Department of Homeland Security heads, I meant to say, Michael Chertoff, who, kind of took it upon himself to rapidly facilitate the surveillance state in this particular organization. He just, even though he was the Department of Homeland Security head, Michael Chertoff was a dual citizen. He was a citizen of the United States and Israel. So, this is very interesting what's going on here. All right, so I didn't mean to get ahead of myself. I just wanted to stay on topic. We're still talking about how this fucking economy is in a recession here. All right, but the reason I started talking about Doge and Elon is because all the government employment that has been cut. Now, believe me, I have no tear to be shed when it comes to these bureaucrats being fired. But it was just indiscriminate firing, and what we're recognizing is that federal services that are provided to the public may actually be needed. Like, I don't know, air traffic controllers. All right? I mean, like, nuclear scientists. That sort of thing. And I don't know where we're going. All right. Means of self-assessed probability of finding a job in the next 3 months. All right. Pretty low. I mean, it's low as fucking COVID times. So when you're laid off, you're not even going to have a job out here, and it's going to get even worse. So it's not looking good for the economy. Why people are buying into this fucking market is beyond me. It's like somebody who is addicted to the high of a slot machine and continues to deliver money into it. Now, I know many of you were saying, well, Ghost, I mean, how can this be? How can our economy be on the dwindling side of a potential depression, in your words? Well, because, folks, our current economy right now is based on a lie. And what's that lie? That lie is AI. All right?
I'd buy that for $1.
That lie is AI. And Haywood just donated on Buy Me a Coffee, and I'll read it here in a second. Most of the U.S. growth rides on AI, okay? Read this right here. 92% of U.S. GDP growth in the first half of 2025 came from artificial intelligence hype, okay? So all this badass growth is behind this AI scam, and it's even worse than the dot-com era. It's even worse. And when the fucking gig is up, excuse my French, when the gig is up, it's going to come crashing hard because, look, they started rolling out this AI very fast on the consumer. Very fast. And we were expecting, AI to revolutionize shit. And all it's done is it's a tchotchke. All right? It's basically AI to take out pornography and to aggregate data for advertising. That's literally all AI is. It's the equivalent of a smarter search engine. And I'm telling you right now, I this is all going to come crashing down on itself. Believe me. And Haywood, he said, ban dual citizens from government office. I don't disagree with that. And El Foxo, apologize to anyone concerned about my absence. Finishing up my first semester at my master's engineering course, also now involved with a drone startup with potential upcoming military contracts in the works. P.S. Also some news that you'll like. My roommate said my tits are looking pretty good. All right, we don't give a shit. All right, you're turning trans. We get it. And we got a rumble rant from Hamill, who said AI is the recursive black hole ontological shit show, excuse me. I mean, why else are most of the logos looking like buttholes? Well, look, I'm just simply stating that the AI hype is a little overhyped. Okay, it's a little overhyped. 92% of our GDP growth is based on this shit, and it's all just investing into nothingness. Because nothing has really come out of this. And I don't think you can profit from all the spending, all the money that's being burnt in AI. I don't think it can profit. But the godfather of AI says there is a way to profit from AI. How do you do that? Godfather of AI says tech giants can profit from their astronomical investments. They can't profit unless human labor is replaced. And that's really what we're witnessing right now, okay? The technocrats are now taking control of the government via Trump. And I tried to say this right after the Republican convention when out of nowhere Trump picked J.D. Vance to be the fucking vice president, some unknown nobody who, in my opinion, probably had some intimate relationship with Peter Thiel, who basically financed his narrative. Okay, what's going to happen here, folks, is that human labor, all right, it's no longer going to be in existence here in the next 25 to 30 years. So if there's not that many human labor jobs in the future, what is going to happen with human beings? What is going to happen with human beings? This is the godfather of AI saying that the only way you can profit from all this investment in AI is to replace human labor. Because that's the only way you're going to profit. I'm telling you this right now. This is not looking good. I mean, the future looks like a dystopian nightmare, you know? And I don't think it's a coincidence that right now, even though everybody thought that, yeah, MAGA, Trump, make America great again, 1 year after his fucking, not even 1 year into his presidency, Americans' happiness is at an all-time record low. Are we just using our money the wrong way? Yes. All right? Yes, because, okay, great, I've got a lot of money. Let me go ahead and purchase a bunch of trash that has no meaningful resale value or return on investment whatsoever. That is basically the consumption patterns of the American people, is that they want nothing but crap. All right? That's all we're consuming. Just take a look at the products that were being marketed. It's garbage. I mean, there's nothing that we consume, at least, you know, on the general populace basis, that has any utility whatsoever. Any resale. I mean, people don't even want to buy cars anymore. And if they do buy it, have you heard about this 84-month fucking, excuse me, not 84-month. It is a 7-year note. 7 to 10 year notes. I'm thinking about housing. 7 to 10 year notes on a fucking car. I mean, imagine you being the idiot. And if you're one of these idiots, you should look at yourself in the mirror and spit in your own face because you're a moron. Imagine the idiot putting his name down on the line or her name down on the line in order to take out a fucking car payment of over $1,000 a month in order to pay on a car for 7 to 10 years. All right? That is the problem. This is the problem. And now you've got America all in debt. They've got all this materialistic crap, and they're not happier. They're not happier for this shit. That's why if you're going to buy a car, in my opinion, you should buy a used car and pay it cash. And typically you want a mechanical car because mechanical cars are easier to fix. They're easier to fix and they're not going to cost you as much money. Now, of course, you want a domestic car or some foreign car that has domestic production of parts in America. That's what you want. Because let me tell you, if you're out here signing your name down on a car note for 7 to 10 years, you have to know, even if it's a brand new car, most cars crap out after 5 years to begin with. So if you're stuck with a 10-year note and your car craps out in 5, I mean, are you going to have the money to fix it? And by the way, have you seen the car repair bills of these new modern cars, because they're all integrated with all this computer shit and all this battery garbage? I mean, so you're just going to have a clunker in your fucking front yard or in your driveway that you're going to have to pay on for another 5 years that you can't even drive. So I'm telling you, folks, it is not good what is happening to this country. All right? And Cornbread Man and the insurance rates on top of the new car, forget it. Yeah, you're telling me. All right? You're telling me. Anyway, folks, look. I guess we'll go ahead and talk a little bit, I guess, about crypto. All right? But before I do want you to know that speaking of commodities, when we were looking at commodities earlier and we saw a lot of commodities going down in price, in the agriculture and even in the livestock. Why? Because the White House knows that it has to combat all this rising cost of everything before the midterms. I think they have a little bit more problems than just rising prices. I think there's a bunch of problems. There's a corruption problem. There is a anti-constitution problem. There's a lot of problems with this administration. But they are desperate to try to find a solution in order to bring down prices. Now, what is their fucking solution to bring down all these high costs of prices? Let's import poverty beef and let's import crap, from Argentina and Venezuela. How about that shit? I mean, give me a fucking break. Put the PC shot on. Look at this. Trump cuts tariffs on beef, coffee, and other foods as inflation concerns mount. And what are we going to do? We're going to get all this poverty crap from Argentina, Ecuador, Guatemala, El Salvador. All right? So all this crap that's coming down in price, make sure it's an American producer, okay? American producer. I mean, obviously coffee, we don't produce much coffee in America, but beef specifically. And can you believe this? How is this making America great again? How is this making America great again? By crashing the beef market temporarily just to make you look good for the midterms. I mean, this is hurting American farmers. But then again, remember, the American farmers were going to have a problem. I said it in 2024 whenever Trump did this immigration policy of deporting everybody. All right, but guess what? All right, guess what he did? All right, you all know it. All you MAGA-tards, I don't know why you still follow this guy. Trump allows more foreign agricultural workers and eases off ICE raids on farms. I told you he wasn't going to stick with this policy. And you idiot American people thought that, yeah, we're going to deport the illegals. Yeah, MAGA. Now he has literally stepped on one of the biggest issues that many of you tards actually went out and voted for him for. All right? And you want to know why? I called this in 2024. I said, dude, these people in America aren't going to fucking do these jobs. The American public is an entitled, arrogant group of people that think that they're above labor, even though they haven't even had a job, many of them. They think that they're above certain types of labor. And, of course, they weren't going to come out and do what the immigrants did. Of course they weren't. I mean, and guess what? It's not just that. I mean, it's not just, agricultural workers. You've got, apparently, we got a skill issue. Did you hear about this? Trump says allowing skilled immigrants to train U.S. workers is MAGA. Jesus Christ. What are you MAGA-tards still holding on to? I don't get it. He has gone back on every fucking thing that you morons elected him for, and all are you doing? What are you doing? You're just fanning your nuts. You're putting about 2 or 3 fingers in your fucking ass crack, gyrating it counterclockwise to give yourself a thrill, because that's the only thing that you're going to get after all this crap. Jesus Christ, we got a skill issue now. We got to allow foreigners in, and who are we allowing in? Who are we allowing in? Who's going to fucking train the American idiot people, at least according to Trump? Huh? I don't know. Maybe 600,000 Chinese students that are coming in. I don't know. What is this? I mean, you MAGA-tards, can you take your heads out of your ass and start recognizing that you've been played, you're an imbecile, and the next time there's, Thanksgiving's coming around the corner. Keep your fucking mouth shut when it comes to politics, you morons, all right? All of you people that voted for Trump in 2024, keep your fucking mouth shut in the Thanksgiving dinner, for Christ's sake. Good God. I'm telling you, man.
I'd buy that.
What
for
a
$1.
joke. What a joke. All right, but hey, this is your boy here, right? We're making America great again, baby. Woo! Let's bring in 600,000 Chinese, even though we have a contentious relationship with China. Unfucking believable. And Haywood, we could always just flip the switch and kill them. We're not promoting that, Haywood. Fuck's sake. But anyway, 600,000 Chinese are coming into the country. So that's a little bit. I mean, how's that, huh? How do you like a little bit of that? Of course, he's going to bring in a bunch of Indians to try to take control of the exploding cost of hiring people in the fucking tech world. So that's going to hurt all the higher white-collar jobs. And, you know, people ask, well, why is Trump doing this? Why is Trump doing? I think that Trump is either compromised by a foreign government or he's too fucking old and he's losing his mind. Have you seen the latest footage of him? This guy is walking with a lip. He thinks he's 50 Cent or some shit. Have you seen this?
That for $1.
All right, look at this shit. Look, this is him showing, I'm assuming this is one of his grandchildren or something. Look at how he's walking here. Look at, he's dragging his legs. Look at him. He's dragging his leg. All right? I mean, this man is 79 years old. And I hope that after this administration, we can all come to the conclusion that nobody over the age of 75 should be fucking president of the United States. All right? No president should be over 75 in the United States. I mean, this is ridiculous. I think this guy could possibly be losing his mind. He could be possibly losing his mind. And who does he hurt while he's losing his mind? Us. The United States. All right? The people. I mean, what is it going to take for you morons to understand this crap? Let's just go right into what I'm going to talk about today. By the way, don't buy crypto, all right? All right? I've told you time and time again, crypto is been taken over by BlackRock, and they are incrementally selling off, taking profits, while at the same time shorting it, making double the profit on your tard money. All right? Crypto is getting pinched in the face. But this is now 2022. No, it's worse. All right? You idiots are going to continue to buy this crap, and whales are leaving. Everybody's leaving. The only people that aren't leaving are the tards. All right? And I can't wait for the tards to run out of money. And let's just say, oh, well, Ghost, it's a thing of the future. Look, Vitaly Buttplug, or whatever the fuck his name is, the guy who invented Ethereum, he's warning about 20% quantum at risk by 2030. By what? Quantum computing. Quantum computing mixed with AI could literally disassemble the code of this shit. All right? So, what are you people investing in the long term anyway? I don't even understand. I don't even understand, man. So, just stay away from crypto. And if you're a tard, well, by all means, give your money to BlackRock, all right? It's your fucking problem. Don't start crying when you lose it all. Don't start crying when you lose it all. And by the way, all this shit that Trump's doing, I mean, he's losing one of his major base, and that's young men. Take a look at this. Trump's secret weapon is vanishing. Insiders reveal why young men who crowned him king are now fleeing. Well, because they realize
that for $1.
they realize that they didn't know shit, and the next time there's any kind of an election, they should shut their fucking mouth. All right, that's why. And Gino X 1987 with a buy me a coffee. Ghost, you're wasting your breath trying to reason with MAGA people. They already have their own version of reality set in their heads and aren't willing to listen to reason. They will second guess and question every fact you give them and insist things are better now than under Biden. Well, those people are fucking retarded. All right? And Haywood, thanks for the TCR, by the way. Hey, cheers to you, and thank you for the buy me a coffee. But once again, young men are fleeing MAGA. Why are young men fleeing MAGA? Well, I don't know. Maybe it has a lot to do with the fact that this fucking shit sucks. All right, this fucking shit sucks. I mean, take a look. Did you hear about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned her congressional seat. She leaves, I believe, January 5th. And I don't understand why. I mean, first of all, she was the opposition in the right, very vocal opposition in relation to these Epstein files being released. All right? And I don't understand why go through all this hoopla. Why go through all this drama? Why be in front of Capitol Hill with the Epstein victims and giving this speech? I don't fucking understand. Now let's listen to her reasoning here.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more.
It's the
and
truth.
The results are always the same.
It's the truth.
No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher.
I do agree with this, but we didn't really have it that bad during Biden. All right? I was convinced that when Biden came along, that he was going to destroy the country, that he did nothing. All right, as a matter of fact, I think people are going to look back at the Biden's 4 years and recognize that that was probably the peak of economic success in America. I hate to say that.
Corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest. And the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive.
I disagree with that completely. I think people have unrealistic, materialistic fucking expectations, and they overextend themselves on those materialistic expectations, and that's why they claim that they can't make it on one fucking income. Give me a break.
And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccination.
Which Trump did, by the way.
And I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time, and we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass a plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies.
They have done nothing but enrich themselves and enrich the donors that were the same donors that donated to Obama, by the way.
The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas. Just sit. They all sit collecting dust.
I'm not reading that.
That's how it is for most
Haywood, I'm not reading that, all right? That's your problem if you're some fucking weirdo that wants to do some fellatio fantasy with this woman. You fucking
members
sick
of
prick.
Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because They know how much credit card debt they have. They know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years. They actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much. Their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa.
Yeah, you know what, Taylor Greene, you're just stating the obvious, okay? Now, Taylor Greene resigned. I have no idea why. I mean, she could have been a thorn in the side of all this shit, but decided to just step away. And the reason is because I don't think she could take it. She can't take this crap. I mean, it's getting so bad that even Alex fucking Jones is fucking finally turning on Trump. Finally. I mean, because Alex Jones, for decades, has been talking against the kind of shit that Trump is openly doing. All right? Take a look at this shit. Take a look at this.
And I'm just going to say it point blank. I'm not a bandwagon person. I don't pile on when other people are doing something. But I know MTG well. She's a woman of incredible integrity, brought up poor, self-made, very successful construction company, a woman of great integrity. She announced last night that she is resigning. I predicted on the Tuesday broadcast, she didn't tell me this, but I talked to her at length, and it sounded to me like she was thrown in the towel just because she can't be part of something that's, quote, a lesser of two evils. And she's very popular in her district, wins by some of the widest margins of anyone in Congress, and we'll play her statement here in a moment, but that ties into all of this. But I'm not saying this because of what she just did. I'm going to have to reflect on this, and I'm going to have to pray about it, and I'm going to take a few weeks on it, I think, is the most important thing to do. But I'm not a person that is normally conflicted. I think I have a lot of knowledge, a lot of depth, a lot of sources, a lot of context. And when I do get conflicted on something, I just have to go to God with it and pray about it a lot. And then go to that place that King David talked about, the quiet place, the Most High. And then I'm going to make my decision. And I mean, if God tells me tonight, I'll make my decision. But I am seriously inches away from not supporting Trump anymore.
Oh!
Because I am not going to watch him commit political suicide.
Political suicide? What are you talking about? I mean, he's fucking ingratiating himself. He's fleecing America, Alex. I mean, this is what you talked against, man, and you are help propagating it by fucking promoting this shit to this day. To this day. And let me tell you, it's not just Alex Jones. It's not just MTG. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. Furious House Republicans warn more explosive resignations are coming after Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right? And it's because they can't stand by this. Look, I never liked Marjorie Taylor Greene. I thought she was a blowhard. I thought she, was a excuse the cans, by the way. She was a blowhard. She liked putting herself in front of a camera. But at least she realizes that, man, I can't continue to stand up in front of the American public after promoting this disgusting piece of trash. And more are also going to do it because they can't stand this crap. I mean, this is ridiculous. All right? The Republicans have no values anymore under this administration. No values whatsoever. And Cornbread Man with a rumble rant, everyone around Alex knew before Alex did. I think the grift was just too much. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I could have made a lot of money, all right, this past election cycle had I just parroted MAGA, had I just parroted that shit all along. All right? I could have made a lot of money, but I knew this was going to happen. I knew that one day, if I did that, because, I know many of you have no fucking scruples and would have probably done it for the money, but then you have to answer to the people that you pandered to, that supported you and all this crap. And a good example is this Jack Posobiec idiot. All right? Have you seen this? I was on my Twitter. Take a look at this. when you have to sell your integrity, ethics, morals, political beliefs, and your soul to keep the MAGA grift going to pay the bills. How does it feel, Jack Prosovic? Serious question. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Jack Prosovic was in the press pool in the Oval Office while Donald Trump was meeting with the now mayor of New York, Zamdani, or whatever the hell his name is. And take a look at the face. Let's blow this up. Take a look at the face of Jack Prosovic when Trump says that him and Zamdani, or Bambami, or whatever the fuck his name is, they actually share a lot of the same beliefs. Look at the face. Look at the face of Jack Prosovic. This is Jack Prosovic right here. All right? One of the biggest mouthpieces on MAGA. Take a look at his expression. All right? When Trump says that he agrees with salami. Take a look at this shit.
Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I would. Especially after the meeting. Absolutely.
What makes you comfortable?
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
Look, did you see the disgust on his face? We agree a lot more than what I thought. And then he exits stage left.
But in many ways,
Exit stage left.
Bernie Sanders was out of the race. I picked up a lot of his votes, and people had
I mean, imagine this idiot.
Not getting ripped off.
Imagine this idiot, the years that this guy wasted pandering for Trump. And obviously it was a good paying gig. I mean, the guy's a millionaire for it. He's a part of the press pool. He thinks he's an important guy. But that's why I asked. I mean, when you have to sell your integrity, ethics, morals, political beliefs, and your soul to keep the MAGA grift going to pay the bills. And when I tweeted at him, obviously he didn't really like it. So instantaneously, right after that tweet, Jack Prosovic blocks me on Twitter. Take a look at that. He blocks me on Twitter, and I told him, I don't blame you, Jack. I would be afraid of me too. Because you don't want to answer the questions that Ghost asks. Because, I mean, he has to reflect. He has to look at himself in the mirror and recognize that all the shit that he was promoting, all the garbage that he was spouting out of his suck hole all these years was a complete lie. A complete fucking lie. All right? And he didn't want to answer that question. He didn't want to answer when you have to sell your soul, your integrity, your ethics, morals, political beliefs just to keep the MAGA grift going. He don't want to answer that crap. Because he knows how it feels. I asked him, how does it feel, Jack? He knows how it feels. And you see, I didn't want to be a part of that, okay? That's why I didn't support Trump in 2024. As a matter of fact, I didn't even want him in the primary because I knew this was going to happen. And speaking of which, MAGA, not very happy with Trump, all right, bringing in this Muslim New York City mayor into the Oval Office and praising him. I mean, take a look at this. Mamdani went from one-hit wonder to legit power player by playing Trump like a fiddle. I mean, he had Trump bring him into the damn Oval Office. I mean, look at the arrogance on this guy's face. He's playing Trump's senile ass like a fiddle, for Christ's sake. And he's got all of the MAGA world completely dumbfounded on why this event even took place, why this photo op even took place. And I'm telling you right now, Trump doesn't care about anybody but Trump. All right? He doesn't care about your life. He doesn't care about your children. He doesn't care about this country. All right? And after this, you would think that Mandami or Salami or whatever the fuck his name is would, I don't know, maybe have a little bit more favorable things to say about Trump, since Trump literally kissed his ass in the White House, in the Oval Office. You would think that, he'd be, I don't know, maybe a little grateful, like, hey, no. Played Trump like a fiddle. Look at this. Mamdani stands by fascist label as Trump relationship thaws. So he still calls Trump a fascist. He doesn't go back on any of the things that he said about Trump, even after this meeting. So why the fuck did Trump do this to begin with? All right? It's a joke. It's a joke. Every one of you folks that are in MAGA should feel ashamed of yourselves. As a matter of fact, if you knew somebody that was MAGA in 24 at the Thanksgiving table, make them feel like a piece of trash. All right? If you see somebody with a MAGA hat on, just say, pedo! I'm not even joking. I mean, that's how we got to do this. All right, you see somebody with a MAGA hat on, you don't have to touch them. Don't just say, Pato! Pato! I mean, it's enough of this shit. All right? Who the fuck is still supporting this crap? Jesus Christ.
Buy that for $1.
And I'm not saying that either, Haywood, all right? I didn't know you were into that gay stuff, man, all right? Take about 10 steps away from my fucking butt crack with that buy me a coffee, all right, dude? Anyway, aside from slapping the MAGA base in the face, all right? As I was mentioning earlier, Trump is fleecing America. Trump is fleecing America. Take a look at this. Fears grow as DOJ is becoming the piggy bank for Trump as his allies seek lucrative settlements. Huh? I mean, that's great, isn't it? Yay, spaghetti! I mean, this is the most openly corrupt administration, and the fact that nobody is batting an eye to this shit is just unbelievable. It's just unfucking believable, man. I mean, Trump is enriching himself as the president. Enriching himself as the president. How are we allowing this to happen? Unfucking believable, man. Unfucking believable. And it's out in the open. Nobody cares. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what Jack Persobic says about this. I wonder what Cat Turd says about this. These people are soulless pieces of trash. And they're aiding the destruction of this country. If you're a MAGA chattering head, you are aiding the destruction of this country, and you're an enemy of the country as far as I'm concerned. All right? I'm not fucking joking. I mean, what the fuck do we stand for anyway? All right? What the fuck does America even fucking stand for anyway if we're just going to piss away the Constitution? What the fuck do we stand for? You know, some Democrats came out recently and said some things that the MAGA chattering class are trying to call treasonous, all right? And I want to show you, and I'm going to ask you to judge for yourself, are these words treasonous, all right? Let's take a look at this. Now, I do not support the Democrats, but we have no alternative to opposition at this point, all right? And right now, the Trump administration is doing such irreparable damage to our country that, I mean, somebody has to stand up. Here, play this.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
and the intelligence community
who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
but from right here at home. Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law
or our Constitution.
We know this is hard and that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
And know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
the American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution,
and who we
the
are
Constitution.
As Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Shut up, bitch. All right, the Constitution. All right, that's what we should all be trying to protect. All right, that's what we should all be trying to protect. But unfortunately, many people think that it's not worth protecting. And the bad part about it is many of the folks that are trying to make a joke of the Constitution, many of which fucking ungrateful young people who have benefited off the spoils of this country, they don't understand that without the Constitution, America is nothing. And this is posted, all right, at military bases, at the Department of Defense, loyalty to the Constitution. And it says right here, should orders and the law ever conflict, our officers must obey the law. Now, unfortunately, these Democrats, when attempting to try to make this clarification, Trump decided to use that as an opportunity to claim that they're treasonous, and even tweeted out something that sedition is punishable by death, which is an unprecedented thing to be posted by a sitting president. Unprecedented. Unprecedented. And you see, because of this video that the Democrats put out, you've got the supposed Department of War now under that fucking drunk Hegseth, womanizing drunk Hegseth. Pentagon now says it's investigating Senator Mark Kelly over video urging troops to defy, quote, illegal orders. Now, let me tell you, I didn't hear anything in that video that suggested that those Democrats were openly trying to suggest to defy Trump in any capacity. They were just suggesting that illegal orders should not be obeyed. And what exactly do they mean by that? It means that the United States military should not be pointing their guns. They should not be turning their guns on American people. And that is clearly defined by the Constitution and our forefathers. The fact that we have got this administration wanting to put American troops on the ground in cities in order to make this some kind of militarized police state is so against the Constitution, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. And that's what these people are talking about. All right, that's what these Democrats are talking. This was meant for white people. What the fuck does that mean, Haywood? What the hell does that mean? And that's what these Democrats are describing because, we don't want American troops firing on American people. All right? And that completely defies the Constitution. Completely defies the Constitution. And if we, if we don't have a country anymore, if we have no Constitution, all right, we have a banana republic if we don't have the Constitution and we don't have people that are willing to uphold the Constitution. All right? I'm serious, man. I mean, look, even U.S. senators are a little taken back by Trump's violent threats. Utilizing death threats. Like they could be prosecuted and executed. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is utterly ridiculous. And this is our country now? This is our country. This is our country. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Anyway, and by the way, not only is Trump using the military against the American people, but how he uses it is actually damaging the military in the process. Because now our military doesn't know what it stands for anymore. Our military is confused because it had sworn an oath once upon a time never to fucking turn guns on the American people. And now look at us. Now look at us. This administration has done such irreparable damage to this country. And anybody who still supports this administration is an anti-American piece of shit. Is an anti-Constitution piece of shit. And look, it's not like we have anybody in Congress working for us either. I mean, take a look at this. All right, take a look at this. Congress ain't going to help. Congress is turning chaotic as lawmakers turn on each other. Everybody wants to censor everybody. Or censure, I should say. Everybody wants to censure everybody. Everybody wants everybody to be put on record for being a bad piece of shit. All that crap. All that garbage. All right? So don't expect Congress to help us anytime soon either. I'm not even kidding around. And arrogant bastard, cheers to you, man. So we are truly fucked as America. But then again, it's our fault. It's the American public's fault. I mean, the people that represent us in Washington, D.C. are yet just a reflection of the type of trash that we have plaguing America at this point in time that we call the American populace. All right? And by the way, not only is it Trump, kind of fleecing the country and putting money in his pocket, I mean, his whole administration's doing it. I mean, take a look at the FBI director, Kash Patel. Not only does he get free reign of the FBI fucking plane at his leisure use to go to and from UFC fights and shit and go see his fucking chick or whatever the fuck, but now Patel is using SWAT teams to protect his young little girlfriend. Oh, I mean, are you fucking kidding me? This is a joke. All right? This is abuse of public funds, of public planes. This is an absolute abuse of power. And no Americans talking about this shit. They're more worried about, yeah, MAGA, look, yay, my team, your team. It's a joke. I mean, what the fuck? Well, you better, hey, arrogant bastard, you better not call her a Mossad agent. She's going to sue your ass, all right? I just think that she's playing Kash Patel like a fiddle. I mean, look at her eyes, all right? She knows that she is the best chick that this fucking idiot will ever get in his life.
Buy that for $1.
Ever get in his life, and she's using that mental game to her advantage. All right, she's using it. Hey, wait a minute. Haywood said, have you ever heard of the incidents in the Superdome during Hurricane Katrina? I'm not saying what you just said after that either. But anyway, once again, this is MAGA, abuse of power, abuse of public funds, abuse of public everything. They're just enriching themselves. I mean, let's talk about that, cosplay Barbie bitch that runs the Department of Homeland Security. Take a look at this. Lawmakers call for a probe of how a firm tied to Kristi Noem got a piece of the $220 million DHS ad contracts. I mean, come on. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you American shitheads, man? This is why our country's going down the tubes, because you fucking morons are too busy fanning your nuts to stupid shit when actually keeping your fucking eye on the ball here. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. And Wraith said, George Carlin said it best. These politicians come from the same society we're all raised in. Humanity needs a reset. I'm rooting for the sun to get closer to the earth. Well, maybe that 3-eye atlas is a big fucking, that fucking unidentified object in the solar system. Maybe it's a fucking alien and, I don't know, Death Star or some shit. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, that's all this MAGA is all about. It's a big fucking grift. All right? It's a big grift. Now, luckily, you've got some rogue elements within the Department of Justice and FBI that are taking it upon themselves to open up a grand jury investigation over the president, or I should say Trump, going after his adversaries and weaponizing certain branches of the government to do so. All right, take a look at this. DOJ, FBI probing top Trump administration officials over investigations of president's adversaries. There's a grand jury for this. Now, we're not going to probably hear anything about this for some time, but thank God there is an open investigation to some of this corruption here. All right, thank God. All right, because let me tell you something right now. A lot of these people, when they're no longer in power, they should absolutely be under investigation and be prosecuted. Absolutely. It's a joke. Jesus Christ, I can't believe you people are just allowing this shit to happen, man. I mean, what is your fucking problem? I mean, this used to be America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. The fuck is wrong with you fucking people? And by the way, let me just give you something that I do agree with Trump on. All right, I don't disagree with him everything. One thing that I do agree with him on, since all of you people think I'm anti-American, the Department of Education being dismantled. Okay, I can agree to that. I can agree for the Department of Education to be dismantled because it is a useless piece of fucking shit. All right, all it has done, it has universally made some ridiculous standard for education institutions all across the country. And you see, I don't think that the Department of Education should even be in existence. I think that the states itself should have the authority on what is being taught in their state. So I don't really agree with the fact that the Department of Education tried to set this universal standard for everybody in America when everybody in America doesn't need the same education. All right? The folks in the Pacific Northwest don't need the same education as the folks in the agricultural South. You know? The folks in California don't need the same education as the folks in Jersey. All right? It's based on the needs of the state, and the state can allocate the appropriate funds necessary to be able to educate their people in order to make their state sustainable, profitable, and have ability for growth. And we can't do that with a Department of Education that is trying to universally create a standard that really doesn't need to be implemented whatsoever. So there. All right? I completely agree with the Department of Education being disbanded. But the problem is, okay, they're disbanding or dismantling the Department of Education. You folks that have all these outstanding college debts are still going to have to pay for it. So you got to figure that shit out for yourself. All right, but look, that's one thing that I agree with Trump on, and that's about it. Now, foreign policy. Let's go ahead and talk about some foreign policy stuff. Now, once again, the foreign policy has shifted now towards the Western Hemisphere. Okay? And it seems as if that we are going to hit up Venezuela. Now, I'm not against hitting Venezuela. I think we need to cut that communist cancer out of our hemisphere and eliminate Hugo Chavez's legacy in that country because he was a piece of shit, and so is Maduro. All right? Now, unfortunately, many people, especially the MAGA folks, don't like this. And I understand that they don't like a military operation, but you have to understand, in my opinion, you take out Maduro, you eliminate the communist, because there's still a Latin American communist contingent within the Latin American countries. And you have to eliminate
I'd buy that for $1.
You have to Haywood, stop donating if all you're going to do is put fucking racial slurs and all that bullshit. All right? Don't donate if that's what the fuck you're going to do, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, with all the threats of war against Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro is scared shitless. All right? Sleepless Maduro fears death by assassin or United States strike. Venezuelan leader could be betrayed by an insider or killed in attacks as Trump targets the, quote, narco state. And look, let's be honest. The whole reason why we're going to hit these people up is not just, cleaning out the communism, which I agree with. It's the oil. It's the oil because, lest we forget, Venezuela has the third largest oil deposit in the world. Third largest oil deposit in the world. And let me tell you, Maduro is so scared shitless that he went on his national TV and tried to do some peace dance or some shit. Did you see this? Oh, y'all got to see this shit. Look at fucking Maduro. This guy tried to go on TV and tried to dance and say no war, yes peace. I'm not fucking joking. Look at this fucking idiot. All right, like you just got a fucking, a whole case of tacos or something. Look at this idiot. Look at this fucking moron. Look at this guy. I mean, this is ridiculous. Get the hell out of here. I imagine that, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, this is ridiculous. All right? Now, look, I agree we should take out Maduro, but what we do thereafter, that's going to be our bag. It's our occupation and shit. What are we going to do? What's the plan? Are we going to occupy Venezuela? There's no clear plan whatsoever, and that's why everybody's kind of iffy about it. All right, take a look at this. CBS poll finds that most would oppose U.S. military action in Venezuela. All right, and once again, it comes down to whether the motives have been explained thoroughly by Trump. And here's the poll. Has the Trump administration clearly explained U.S.'s position on military action in Venezuela? 76% says he has not done that. Now, military action in Venezuela, does Trump need to explain his decisions? As you can see, 97% of Democrats say he needs to explain. 86% of independents say that he needs to explain. And yet, the Republicans, which were so against the, the neocons and against all this war, they think that only 64% of them believe that he needs to explain. Unfucking believable. Is Venezuela a threat to U.S. national security? 13% think it's a major threat. 48% think it's a minor threat, and 39% says it's not a threat. Look, inherently it's not a major threat. But for the long term in the Western Hemisphere, I think that if you nip this fucking communist bullshit in the bud, you are kind of, solving problems in the future. All right, in my opinion. And moreover, if we can do this military operation with Venezuela appropriately, I think it will give us a better standing in the international community because the world thinks we're a bunch of shit now. Everybody in the world thinks that we're a fucking asshole. All right, so there it is. And by the way, Rand Paul came out and said the GOP will fracture over Venezuelan airstrikes. So, I don't know, man. I'm not against taking out Maduro, but I would like an explanation on what exactly the policy is once he's taken out. Are we going to go back to nation building? Or are they going to claim, like they did during Iraq, are they going to claim that the oil residuals and the oil is going to pay for whatever military confrontation that we're having? Hasn't said a word. All right, has not said a word about what is going to happen in this pending. And look, we got like 25% of our Navy assets in the Caribbean right now. So, it's happening, man. You don't allocate all those assets without, potentially implementing some kind of military confrontation. Now, with that being said, just imagine all the cost that would be when it comes to a confrontation with Venezuela. Meanwhile, we're bailing out Argentina, all right? $40 billion. We bailed out Argentina. The reason I bring this up, I know this is kind of old news. Since we bailed out Argentina from the same failed policies that Trump is implementing here, why aren't the fucking Argentinians being the ground force on a Venezuelan invasion? Why would it have to be American forces? We basically bailed out the whole country. They owe us, for Christ's sake. Why don't we send Argentinian fucking troops into Venezuela? What the fuck? As a matter of fact, they shouldn't even be using the peso anymore. They should be using the U.S. dollar. We've given them so much money. It's fucking unbelievable, man. People in America are fucking barely able to afford food on the table.
I'd buy that for $1.
We're just giving away money to this fucking kookster out there in Argentina, man. Unfucking believable. And I'm not saying that, hey, what? God damn it, can you stop with the fucking racist crap, man? God damn it. Jesus Christ. Anyway, once again, while America can barely pay for their food on the table, we're giving away $40 billion to Argentina to bail them out of their failed policies, by the way, that Trump is implementing in this country, all right? Jesus Christ. Now, let's talk a little bit about Russia, all right? Now, Trump has come out and said that he's got a peace plan, in essence, forcing Ukraine to cede territory, which is something they didn't want. And Russia, not only did we have a plan, Europe had a plan as well. Russia trashes Europe's peace plan, but likes Trump's Ukraine's proposal. And the reason is because Trump is basically putting what the fucking Russians want and passing it off as if it's the American proposal. It is the ultimate kowtow to America's enemy that I've ever seen in my life. Now, many people have to ask themselves, why exactly is Trump doing all this shit with Russia? Huh? Does Russia have something on them? I think Epstein alluded to that in the Epstein emails that were recently released. I mean, what is it? There's got to be something. There's got to be something that makes Trump have an undying support for Russia. Well, I think this will pretty much explain it. Take a look at this. Put the PC shot on. The U.S.-Russia plan gives Trump $300 billion signing bonus. Oh, Jesus Christ. I wonder how much that is going to be put in the pockets of Trump and these corrupt pieces of shit that are in government today. So, it all comes clear now why Trump is so favorable to fucking Russia, man. It makes me sick. I mean, how the hell are we allowing this to happen? How are we allowing this shit to happen, man? Once again, all right, he is enriching himself at our consequence, on our backs, on our debt. Jesus fucking Christ. I cannot stand this shit. I mean, how much of that $300 billion that Russia's going to give us, how much of that is going into Trump's pocket? How much of that is going into Trump's fucking pocket, man? Oh, look, fucking corruption is unfucking believable. All right? And by the way, I mean, people aren't down with this shit. I mean, you know, people, not only in other governments, but our government, disarray over leaked U.S. peace plan is an ideal scenario for Putin. Because Putin doesn't have to give up a goddamn thing. It's Ukraine that's got to cede territory, that's got to do this and got to do that. I can't believe this shit. You know, I remember, this guy was on the ropes when Antony Blinken was the fucking State Department head. And now Putin is looking like he is the man now. Putin is looking like he's the man. He was able to get one over on America. He was able to get one over on Europe. He's getting a free pass on an invasion. Unfucking believable, because I guess it's a bribe? I don't know. I mean, dude, look, let me tell you something. This is how much clout Trump has now given back to Putin. Look at this. Europe agrees to invite Putin back into the G8 summit, which he has been out of ever since the invasion. And now, because Trump has basically validated this idiot by even inviting him over here, by talking to him and shit, now all of a sudden Europe is like, okay, we'll bring him back to the G8. All right? And what did I tell you was going to happen? I told you, folks, that if we did this stupid fucking tummy sticks with fucking Russia, that we would lose the respect of the world. And that nobody is going to take us seriously any longer. Well, this is a sign that the United States and its word means dick, all right? And let me give you another sign that the United States and his word means nothing, and nobody gives a flying shit. All right, I'll give you another example. Let's go to China here. All right, put the PC shot on. Trump touts extreme strong China relations after call with Xi. Xi said that it is imperative that Taiwan becomes a part of China to sustain the world order. So he's going to continue to pursue his unification policy with Taiwan, which will cause another war in the near future. And the reason China isn't afraid to do it anymore is because Trump is literally pulling his pud and not doing a goddamn thing in the international community any longer. All right? I mean, give me a fucking break. All right? China doesn't respect us. The world doesn't respect us. I mean, I told you all this was going to happen in 2024. I told you all this. I told you all this. I mean, look, this is how bad the world hates America. Take a look at this. The G20 met recently, and the United States was not there. G20 declaration in defiance of U.S. marks rare victory for multilateralism. All right, G20 summit was the first to be held on an African continent. Global panel on inequality mooted for the first time. U.S. boycott had raised questions about G20's future. Unity enraged U.S., which leads the G20 next year. So, I mean, we're losing respect across the world. We're losing respect here domestically.
I'd buy that for $1.
I mean, give me a break. I mean, we are losing. You understand? We look like shit in the international community. And wait a minute, Haywood said Putin had to invite North Korean soldiers into the battle. They found pornography and became useless. Well, he's still saving face. I mean, Putin is still saving face out here. And of course, China, it's taking over where the U.S. left off. All right? Take a look at this. Take a look at this fucking article. China has brought millions out of poverty. The U.S. has not, by choice. Despite the U.S. economic success, income inequality remains breathtaking. But this is no glitch. It's the system. And you see, because China has an overproduction of all this LED garbage and they don't know what to do with it, they decided to put it on their cheap-ass buildings in their fucking cities and shit. And you've got Americans like gaga over the fact that, oh, look, a lit-up city, yeah. Wow, China, yay. And China's winning over the hearts of American people from this fucking bullshit. China's winning the hearts of people of the world. All right? Which used to be something that America was the sole proprietor of. Let's put it that way. And take a look. China's not making... they're not wasting time, dude. All right? I mean, while we're pulling out, China's moving in. Take a look at this. Chinese consumer brands flood into Africa. La 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 way, la la way, la la way. All right, so there it is, okay? So China's moving in, and we're over here with our pricks in our hands. We don't even know what we're doing domestically. Nobody in the world respects us anymore. So I have no idea why the fuck... I don't know what's going to happen to the country. We're fucked. If you don't believe that we are fucked at this point in time, then you're part of the problem. You're part of the fucking problem. I mean, that's what's happening right now. And once again, China, because the United States is no longer an issue militarily because Trump is, I don't know, pulling putt or some shit, you've got China now sparring with Japan. Because Japan made a statement. The new prime minister...
I'd buy that for $1.
The new prime minister of Japan made a statement that has antagonized the Chinese, and they're not letting it go. And the new prime minister had suggested that if China did go and move on Taiwan, that Japan would come to the aid of Taiwan. And that has since, pissed off the Chinese. And as a result, you're seeing this, kind of semi-confrontation with the Japanese and the Chinese here. You know what I'm saying? And Haywood, can you stop this crap? I wouldn't want to go to Africa either. I'm not saying that racist shit you put in. I'm not saying that crap. I'm not saying that crap. But once again, the whole reason why China's doing this, the whole reason why Russia's doing this, the whole reason why the G20 did what it did is because nobody respects America anymore. We are pariahs, just as I said was going to happen in 24. And if you don't believe me, then go back in the archive and listen to the fucking episodes in 2024. Everything that has come to pass, or everything that I said was going to come to pass, has come to pass. The only thing that hasn't is another shutdown, and that is in the works. In my opinion, I think they're going to shut us down. They're going to pretend that there's some fucking virus again. And it's the easiest way to reset the economy. All right? That's their ace in the hole. All right? Is to shut down the government again. It's been done before. Everybody and their brother is going to be okay with it because they were okay with it last time. And that is in the works because our economy, I mean, what can you do? I mean, you got to reset it. And what COVID shutdown showed us is that you can halt the crash by having a momentary flash dip in the economy, pump the economy full of money, and once again, we're back in working order. All right, we're back in working order. So anyway, folks, let me talk about, I don't have much else to say. I really didn't. I've got too much to talk. There's so much to talk about. But one thing I wanted to bring up is Iran because, we almost got into a military confrontation with them. And, we haven't heard much from Iran lately. You haven't heard much from Iran. And it's because they're running out of fucking water. That's why. All right? Iranian fear taps running dry as country faces worst drought in 60 years. It is so bad that they're considering moving the capital of Iran from Tehran because Tehran is completely out of water. Okay? Now, I have suggested that what is going to happen here in the future is Iran is going to get so desperate that they are going to confront the Taliban over a body of water that's on the very edge of the border of Afghanistan and Iran. And they're going to be forced to do so out of necessity, and I think that's coming around the corner if you want my personal opinion. All right? Because remember, Iran is a desert, all right? And Wizard of Text Chat, pour one out for Iran, LOL. That's great. Thanks a lot, buddy, all right? All right, folks. Look, I've got so much to talk about, but, I mean, nobody gives a shit, all right? Nobody gives a flying fuck, all right? And look, somebody in the chat room goes, you're anti-Christian. What the fuck does that even mean? Oh, you think I'm anti-Christian? You think I'm anti-Christian? You mean this kind of Christian? Look, here's fucking Mike Huckabee, who's now the ambassador to Israel. All right? Who's now the ambassador to Israel. This is what he has to say about what American Christians should be. All right? And this is an ambassador appointed by Trump. Here.
I get asked all the time, because I'm a Christian, and they say, well, why are you so supportive of the Jewish people? I said, you can be Jewish, you don't have to have anything to do with Christians, but you can't be a Christian and not understand that your entire faith is built on the foundation of Judaism. So for Christians, we look at this as an obligation, a moral debt that we must repay. And therefore, I don't understand anyone who says, I'm a Christian, but I don't really want to support the Jews. Well, how can you do that? But it is not the view of those of us who are what I would call biblical believers that accept that what the scripture says about the Jewish people. In Genesis 12, those who bless Israel will be blessed. Those who curse Israel will be cursed. It gets pretty simple. I say there's a miracle every day in this country. I get asked all the time.
So, are y'all talking about that Christianity? Is that what y'all are talking about there? Because I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think many of you all are following that level of Christianity, if you want my personal opinion. All right? So don't sit here and try to wave your finger at me at some moral soapbox, all right, when you've got that representing Christianity, with all due respect, all right? All right, don't fucking come at me with that crap, all right? And by the way, I don't like institutional religion in general, okay? Institutional religion is nothing more than death cults. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do, look at the halls of history that are stained in millions upon millions of people's human blood because they believed that their God was far superior to someone else's God. It's ridiculous, all right? It's a death cult, all right? So give me a break. And by the way, most of these big religious institutions, most of these folks that are these, preachers, these mullahs, these, these fucking rabbis, they're all a bunch of corrupt pieces of fucking trash. And they utilize the susceptibility of spirituality in order to get people to do things, particularly give money to them, all right, in order to continue to sustain this fucking grift that is institutional religion. All right? I'm not saying that I'm an atheist. Okay? I'm not. I mean, I do believe that, there is an afterlife. I do believe that there is a spiritual element involved with this country, or with this reality, I meant to say. I absolutely do believe that. All right, but to sit here and say, yeah, Christian this, Christian that. I mean, which Christianity are you talking about? Are you talking about Catholicism? I mean, let me show you your boy Nick Fuentes. And by the way, for all you people that are Nick Fuentes fans, y'all are fucking pieces of shit. You know that? I mean, Nick Fuentes is clearly on the pedo side. And if you don't believe me, once again, I want to repeat this over and over. Nick Fuentes, all right, praising this liberal streamer Destiny when liberal streamer Destiny called children hot. All right, listen.
Okay.
Hang out with children.
Well, they're hotter.
Based. Let's fucking go. That's why we love them. That's why we love them.
I mean, give me a break. This is what y'all are supporting?
Well, they're hotter.
Based. Let's
All right.
fucking go.
I mean, is everybody a pedo? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is everybody on the right wing a fucking pedophile? I mean, I cannot believe that everybody that is a young male is following this fruit bowl. I just can't believe this shit. I just can't believe it. This is the new right wing, so another fucking pedophile? Jesus fucking Christ, I can't stand this fucking American people, dude. All right? You people are the cause of why we're in this position. All right? You people are the cause. It's your fault that we're in this fucked up fucking position. And instead of taking some responsibility and accountability, what are you people doing? You're pretending that you did nothing wrong. All right? You're like one of these fucking, perpetrators that get busted in the act of committing a crime and then come out and repetitively say, I didn't do nothing, maybe. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And Trump destroying this country is on every one of you.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right? Is on every one of you that voted for this guy in 2024. And Haywood, goddammit, can you stop being racist on the buy me a coffee, for Christ's sake? All right? This is serious shit, man. This is serious business. All right? Our country's being lost, for Christ's sake. And do you people care? No, you don't. All right, I'm ending this show. All right, fuck this fucking crap. All right? I'm sure if we brought together the American public and put their intellectual capital together, we might have enough intelligence to tie our shoe. Let me go to totally useless news, for Christ's sake, and let me get the fuck out of here. All right? Let's go to totally useless news. Did y'all hear about this? J.D. Vance spotted with suspicious stain as he met Mohammed bin Salman. Now, what stain, you ask? This weird stain right here that looks like he may be lactating. All right? I mean, no shit. I mean, look, heard a baby cry, started lactating. I mean, what the hell is that? And by the way, this is the alternative if by some chance Trump is, if he's fucking kicked out of office or some shit, if he's impeached, this fucking weirdo is going to be the president. A guy who openly wears eyeliner, who's a fucking creepy looking son of a bitch, who's almost like a robotic man, all right? This is going to be the alternative here. Obviously he lactates or some shit. I have no idea. What is that about? What is that about? And Kits does a flip. J.D. Vance got a shit stain after his Indian wife enriched him with... I'm not saying that. All right, Kits does a flip. Give me a break. Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you people, man? This is why our country's being flushed down the toilet, you fucking asshole! An arrogant bastard said, J.D. Vance is going into the milk business. Great. Thanks a lot. Anyway, that's that. All right, I don't know what the hell's going on with the shirt of J.D. Vance. But we're going to continue on with totally useless news. Did you hear about this? Take a look at this. This is very disturbing. Scientists issue ominous warning over mind-altering brain weapons that can control your perception, memory, and behavior. Well, I think it was the great Anthony Sutton, the great professor, who said and did investigative work into this realm that there were psychotropic weapons going back into the 50s. Psychotronic weapons, where you can aim something at a target and be able to manipulate their emotions, their mental processes, their well-being, that sort of thing. And now they're finally coming out and saying that, yeah, we have those things. So just imagine, you have yourself, a little bit of a blues or some shit, right? I mean, is it really you? Is it really you, or is it something that is an outside influence? Who knows, man? And by the way, look up Anthony Sutton. He's actually a very, very good professor. He's no longer with us. He's, was kind of an older guy in the 80s and the 70s, but a lot of good information and a lot of good investigations that Anthony Sutton did. So cheers to Anthony Sutton. But he talked about this in the 80s, And he did the research on it. Now, what are we going to do? Huh? I mean, they can control our mind now. As a matter of fact, I think they could probably, in theory, control your mind through your fucking cell phone, if you want my personal opinion, but let's not go too deep into that, huh? All right, let's continue here. This should be right up your ass crack, all right, many of you homos out there. All right, take a look at this. Man accused of flashing genitals to drivers on the interstate said he needed excitement in his life. That's the fucking guy's excuse. This guy is like fucking Pee Wee Herman in an adult theater, fucking fucking flashing his genitals to people on the fucking interstate. And when he's busted, his reaction is, I needed some fucking excitement in my life. You have got to be kidding me, man. I mean, this is just, whenever I do these totally useless news segments, I am absolutely surprised at the kind of crap that I'm able to find. I am absolutely amazed at the kind of crap that people do. I am amazed by it. All right, so once again, man accused of flashing genitals to drivers on the interstate. He said it because he just needed some excitement in his life. That's all. I just want some excitement in my life, or I want people to see my ding-dong. I need some excitement. Was he circumcised? Get that fucker out of here who asked if he's circumcised, you fucking more. Get out of here. Jesus Christ. Now, sticking with the genitals theme, this should make you want to go out for some, after dinner. I'm not joking. This is actual real. This is not a joke. I'm sure you're aware of the Kardashians, right? Well, Kourtney Kardashian, not the fat one, the other one, she is taking some backlash because she is putting out a product that I can't believe even exists. Now, for you folks that may be a little squeamish or don't like how, raw and raunchy this segment is, you may want to look away.
I'd buy that for $1.
All right, you may want to look away because I can't believe what I just found. And wait a minute, hold on. Haywood, oh shit, they put me on the news for busting a nut. Dude, shut up, asshole. Trying to take credit for the genitals guy. Anyway, Kourtney Kardashian is producing a line of vagina lollipops. I am not kidding around. Vagina lollipops, which are intended for you as a woman to shove up in your vagina and I guess, I don't know, twirl it around in there, or so. I have no idea. But according to Kourtney Kardashian, it's supposed to be for women's health because the lollipop vagina, or the vagina lollipop, is a probiotic. Are you fucking a probiotic? A probiotic? I mean, what? I mean, what are you, is this like a Banaka or some shit for the vagina? I mean, is this supposed to make it smell better? I mean, a probiotic, what is it? It's supposed to be growing shit in there? I mean, good God, man. Good God. And not Doomcat, David Rapper update and a Gen Z Mexican protest saying Hebrew slurs. What the hell does that mean? Oh, you're talking about the shit with Mexico. Yeah, I'm going to cover that. I think that's an ongoing scenario, and I want to see how it pans out, all right, with Scheinbaum and all that shit that's happening in Mexico. And for all those that don't know, Mexico is having a little bit of a problem because Scheinbaum, who's the current president of Mexico, doesn't want to do nothing to the cartels. And the cartels are indiscriminately killing people at will without the federal government of Mexico doing a goddamn thing about it. So that's that. But anyway, back to vagina lollipops. Who buys this shit? Is this like kookster women? Like women that like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who buys this shit. But then again, if you think that's bad, if you think a probiotic lollipop in the vagina is bad, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, all right? Now, right when I thought that, the LGBTQ community couldn't get any more degenerate, all right? I've seen it all. I want y'all to take a look at this because I had to. Put the PC shot on. I'm not joking around. For $299.99 or 95 cents, you, if you're a man or a trans, can experience childbirth with the butt baby. The butt baby. I'm not joking around. A prosthetic baby that can be inserted deep into the loving embrace of the rectum, where a trans woman can experience and celebrate the miracle of childbirth. All right? Now, there they are. They come in all different colors, but they're about 13 inches, and they're about $299.95. All right? So, there you go. There's your totally useless news segment. All right.
Buy that for $1.
We went from vagina lollipops to butt babies. All right? I'm not fucking joking around. And Haywood says, what if the lollipops are put in their asshole? I don't know. Maybe it'll make it smell better or some shit. I have no idea. And Kitsch does a flip. Why would anyone want to experience childbirth? That shit is painful. Hey, this is where we're at this point in time in American history. Okay? This is where we're a butt baby. How you like that shit? Vagina lollipops and butt babies on the next fucking Geraldo. Jesus Christ. All right, folks. Anyway, I think that concludes the True Capitalist Radio broadcast for the day. I had a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted to go over, but nobody's listening, all right? Everybody's just, putting about 2 or 3 fingers in their shit funnel and gyrating it counterclockwise right now, and then putting the residuals in their mouth because that's all they can taste in this fucking Trump administration. But anyway, I wanted to let everybody know that I am not going to do a ghost show on Tuesday, okay? I think it's too, because let me tell you why. I am actually going to do a ghost show this Thanksgiving Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? So if you happen to be in the listening mood after eating your turkey and Thanksgiving fixings, come by the Ghost Show at any one of the platforms, particularly Rumble if you want to be seen on the chat screen there, and hang out with us, all right? Hang out with us, for Christ's sake. I will not do a show on Tuesday. It's a little too much, plus I got family coming in. I will be broadcasting this Thursday, Thanksgiving night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right? That's what we're going to do.
For $1.
And cheers to BN King, hooking it up with 5 beers in the house. Hey, Ghost, thanks for doing a show. Oh, hey, he wants to do one for Thursday. He's already donating for Thursday. Cheers to you, BN King. And by the way, you may want to hook up your videos before the Thursday show, because I anticipate we're going to have a lot of folks participating. We're going to have a lot of people tuning in. Everybody's off. And what better way to provide some family entertainment for folks than on Thanksgiving night? All right? And yes, we are going to watch a movie Thanksgiving night. We're going to do all that shit Thanksgiving night.
For $1.
And Haywood said, once again, thank you for TCR. Well, thank all of you, all right, for listening to the broadcast here. I am genuine whenever I make any of these political statements. Whenever I do this show, I try to be as 100% as serious as possible, because we need people that are serious. And we need people to participate in the political process with actual rational and reasonable thought. All right? Not these idiots that are operating in fantasy land most of their fucking lives. So anyway, folks, thank you all for tuning in. Cheers to Haywood, even though he's donated a bunch of racist gibberish. And cheers to BN King, who hooked it up with a video for the Thursday night show. Once again, I just want to reiterate, no Ghost Show Tuesday. We're going to be doing a Ghost Show Thursday, Thanksgiving night, and we're going to steal the night, baby. We're going to steal the night. Anyway, once again, if you'd like, if you want to support the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, all you got to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and put the PC shot on. Go right here and become a member of the True Capitalist Radio membership chat. All right. As a matter of fact, I'm mailing folks this month, or I should say next month, another card to the collection. So cheers to all the folks that are part of the True Capitalist Radio chat room. As a matter of fact, that is the chat room on the screen that you see right here. So cheers, baby, cheers to all the folks that are in the True Capitalist Radio chat room, and cheers to everybody out there supporting this broadcast, all right? Until next time, all right, I don't know when I'm going to see you. I don't know when I'm going to have another True Capitalist Radio show. If you'd like to see one, let me know you want to see it. The whole reason why I've done them for the past couple of Mondays is because I've had a lot of requests by people who suggested that they wanted to see one, and hence that's why I'm here. So without any further ado, I want to say cheers, baby, cheers to everybody out there who is listening to the broadcast. And until next time, I'm out of here. Woo!